Welcome back to Banner Saga 3. Let's talk with one of the berserkers. Hogan has propped himself up on his shield to keep from slumping over, but he stands as you approach. Don't stand on my account, you're looking rough around the edges. Pick yourself, I'm fine. He looks a little bastard, but snapping at you and looks back in the distance. You ever think we'd make it this far? We're either very lucky or very unlucky. Yeah, that about sums that up. It could have all gone a lot different ways. I'm just checking on how everyone's doing. I appreciate the concern. Nothing to worry about here, though. Hogan goes back to staring quietly into the darkness. How's your family, Hogan? Hanging by a thread, Hunter. Hanging by a thread. Who isn't? All I can do is make sure they eat, then they get killed in their sleep. If I can't keep them safe, what kind of man would I be? I know what you mean. Ah, listen, I know what you've been through. All my words are coming out wrong. Don't take it to heart. What do you think is on the other side of the darkness? If warped everything coming out of it, I doubt the land's any different. You're worried about Mogan. I don't want to talk about it, but there it is. What the damn fool I am, I never shall let him leave. I love my family, but not like I love my brother. Ashamed to say it, but it's the truth. It's killing me. I keep watching the darkness, expecting to see him walk out of it, twisted and bloated. Can't sleep, can't stop thinking about it. Damn it, I should have said something instead of being a prideful idiot. What would you do? Nothing. Mogan's still alive. Sure he is, just like Ivor and the rest. Maybe it would help if I could pretend like you, but so far it isn't working. Nothing you want to talk about? Tired of talk, tired of fighting. I'm just tired of the story. Couldn't the gods have done this differently? Why make us eat and fear and hate? Nothing stopped them from taking it all away. Smart people and you haven't answered that one. Feels like being stuck in a bear trap and I'm tired of it. I'll let you have your peace. Take care of yourself. Like I said, don't worry about me. Maybe I look rough, like you said, but I'm not going anywhere. Not while I can still stand. You can lose him as a fighter, by the way, in Banner Saga 2, depending on the choice you make. Black soot bellows from the ramshackle shelters and spreading to bigger buildings. Serves him right, you overhear Varl say, watching for instance, Senoritas talking about Ruga's oilers trying to save their own things from a fire. They probably started. Rally able bodies help put it out. If your brave hearts join you, creating a chain of water buckets, it's water you doubt you can afford to lose. And worse, you don't seem to be making my progress. Double down and get the Varl involved. Alright. So clearly I can't stop the fire. This an Huh. Right. No. Let me try options over here. The Varl won't. Oh, okay. The commons. A livid crowd of horseborn confront each other. You recognize Karen and Deirdre amongst them, and their hooves like victims of this pack. Karen is waving her javelin friendly. You can't be certain. Try to find out what happened. Okay. This situation is going to shit. Convince Carrie to put her weapon down. You never find out what happened, but subtle luxuries seem to be less and less within reach. The wall must hold. Come quick, says a bloody guard. The warp, but you now recognize more and more the mess. Here, shit's looting on the other side of the Mender approach. Haven't lost any Menders yet. We've been fighting them off all the way, but they're coming a lot faster. And there's more, he shouts. Alright, well, hold the line then. With Luden as well. Let's level up the big boy. The tough son of a bitch that just will not die. Not quietly. Ready for battle. Yeah, this is pathetically easy. Like, legitimately easy. How hard could the second wave be? Reasonable enough, I suppose. Another one bites the dust. Alright, if I move Cannery over here, then, well, I'll be able to use Luden at least. Or will I? Guess not. I forgot about Ursa. Hardly matters. Oh, there might be a lot of them, but this is easy. Their numbers are not really a strength necessarily. Alright. Victory. Another bloody one. The walls have held again. What now? Where the fuck is Ruga anyway? The orb monsters beyond the light are becoming increasingly aggressive. Despite the victory, the writing is on the wall. We bought some time, but this is not sustainable. We're going to have to all bite before long. S isn't good. But we're near the end anyway, so what can I say? Complaints of aching feet and sore back somehow take your mind to Alfred, and maybe you sense something from the corner of your eyes. The tall frames of Tuvaral Bob. You'd have seen Cormer, Sigborn says in disbelief. Percy just nods eye. We're not out of this yet, but he bought some time. He paid for it. You remind others not to waste this opportunity. Their pace quickens. So we lost Krummer. Shame. Warp dredge bodies ornament this hill like cremellations. Some sitting or slumped all dead. What happened here? Hundreds can be seen from the... This wasn't a battle. Wait, what if this is a warning? Mass suicide. These dredge appear to have ended each other before the darkness reached them, rather than be twisted alive. It leaves a pit in your stomach.
The white tower that looked like a toothpick when I first saw it now soars above our heads, dwarfing any structure made by kings or WoW. This is where our troubles began. And with luck, where they will end.
Here we are. Armies have crashed against the steep black cliffs of Arberrang before as the warp do now. You retreat again, it was costly. Banshee wails, but the black rock wall has never been reached, the Menders tell you. Even so, with so many slaughter spaces scarce Elio nods when you tell you you're going to get some air. You wonder how many families soon upon your banner are just memory nows. Then you note, the clans have lost their taste for troublemaking, even the warped have withdrawn. Maybe you're safe here, maybe the Menders are. Huh, who knows? This is scratching diligently at his papers. He looks up. Skatnak holds whatever conversation he and Ubin were having. Hello, Hunter. Found yourself a little patch of quiet and don't know what to do yourself. Something like that. The eye of the storm, as the poets say. You start predicting the weather when you've been around long enough. Or maybe you just talk about it more. The old varls stop scratching notes to talk. Ever seen anything like this in your many years? You know, I've heard mankind talk of being old. Take being old an insult, but I never knew it. Now let me think. Well, the fall of Scrimmirs, that was something to behold. Half a city sinking into the Silverstone. If Grafheim was even bigger, but something like this, no, it was not. Funny how our ancestors measured warmth, isn't it? I remember my companion Gunnulf telling me I look like an eggplant better than I recall a city sinking beneath the waves. That's why I like to write these things down. The horseborn says something in his own tone and Wilkman laughs. He says I don't look like an eggplant. The old varl stops scratching notes to talk. What have you been writing in your book? Stories mostly, but not like the Menders and Skalds, no. The Menders write about what's in the past, and the Skalds scratch fantasy about what happened. The historical writings are mostly useless, if you ask me. Even a perfect record is only as good as the man reading it, and most of us aren't that good. You mean we remember things the way that suits us best? You can spin a dozen different morals from the same yarn. Indeed, we're all a bunch of liars at heart. I write stories about people. When someone reveals their own hopes and fears, that's the truth of things. Even if it's a lie, understand? One of the reasons I learned to talk to people like the horseborn. I'd like to speak with the Dredge too one day if they'll have me. I've been curious for more detail about Dalaland, the horseborn homeland. Why don't you ask them yourself? I'm a trader. I've traveled more than most and never seen the end of our lands. Maybe they are endless. Men have said it is empty, but they are wrong. They only think it is empty because they move too slowly. When the sun stops, we celebrate. It is a blessing. It is warmth and freedom. But then the shattering split our land in pieces. Now each piece is small and empty. I think my kind becomes restless here. They talk about the brave who try to outrun the darkness. They have already become legend. Maybe they are still running across the Dalaland. I like to imagine this. Your city is heavy and cold and made for men to walk slowly in circles but going nowhere. I'll be glad to see the sun again. It looks a little wistful and wants to say it the way. Okay, old Frau, I'll leave you to your work. Now, worries, if you want to talk, I'm glad for the company. Out of curiosity, what are you planning to do with your writings if the darkness overtakes us? Leave it for someone else to find. Ruben smiles suddenly falls from his places. He realizes it'll become warped. Would you believe I hadn't thought of that? Maybe a horseborn could. No, not without a Mender. Maybe we could spare a Mender to damnation. Well, I have to live. There's no way around it now. Yeah. We're still holding, though. Well, Zephyr, what's up? Zephyr is overseeing the Menders, looking just as drained, if not more. She calls you by name. I've heard more about you since coming to Armor. Seems like these people owe you a great deal. I didn't do it on my own. Close enough, though. I wish I had supported you better at the gates. I also heard you traveled with a Varl named Wingfire. It seemed like quite a coincidence at first. You consider what to say. How did you discover this light spell? Not easily. Things went bad at Manahar, and I was the only one left in the aftermath. I spent days trying anything I could against the darkness. I nearly gave up, but what Juno and Ivan must have done, nobody thought it was possible. When you become a Valka, or are you all forced to take an oath to be as vague as mysterious as possible? I'm sorry, it would be hard to believe if I told you. Try me. I believe they have pulled down and sheltered Black Sun that resides inside the Earth. Oh, I can see, I can see your earlier point. Do you know Ivor? He is well known, especially amongst the Dredge. They say he once slew a Thundercall race who carried Bellawar's child. Ruin was Raise's sister. It is my belief that Ruin probably came to Arberrang hoping to find Ingvar. In the face of this darkness, the Thunder have scattered the wind, but Ruin wanted revenge, even if it meant killing everyone in the way. Are you also saying although people died in the siege was because of Ivor? And I can only imagine it is why Belor chased you all the way to Borsgard. I suppose there's no point to secrets anymore. After the Great War, the Valka tried to broker peace with the Dredge and mostly succeeded. But one of the conditions was that we delivered the Varl named Ingvar. They called him Destroyer. We searched but never found him. June and Ivan would almost certainly have recognized him. Did they ever mention this? No, but they nearly let him die on the bridge on our top. I wonder, was the decision truly Ingvar's or... No, it's best not to speculate about such things. You trust your friend Ivor completely? Can you trust anyone completely? Not in my experience, but it's better than no hope at all against her. What's your plan now? To keep this light lit as long as I can. In the early days, the Valka had nearly godlike powers. They spent generations obsessed with immortality, has become diluted over time, of course. Then you know that the Valka raised the Black Rock Plateau we're standing on, pulled straight out to the earth. The unnaturally dark rock is the same material Dredge used to make the armor, believe it or not. That was long before I was born. Me, I've learned a few tricks, but all I can do now is share the same blind hope that if we just hold out, well, maybe this will be of more use to you than me. Retrieves an item from the folds of her cloak and hands it to you. How long do you think we have left? Not long now. Make the most of your time. I'll let you focus. I only wish I could have done more. The Warped have not been able to scale the black hole since coming here a day ago. Many want to take full advantage of the respite, others call it folly. Keeping a full watch now means forcing fatigued and wounded survivors to take turn. Some haven't slept a day. The strong patrick though let volunteers take. Alright. A woman comes to you quietly. Saw a whole bunch of fools, she confides, drunk as boiled owls, laughing at up down there. Some of the men have many they had point. On the other hand, these supplies could have been stretched out for days. You spied their raise the drunks to stand their ground and fight. Okay, maybe I want to keep them alive somehow. We'll see. Save the supplies and wait for help to arrive. Let's hold our ground. Alright, I'm done trying to fight this. Yeah, get the hell out of here. We held them off at least. No point in needless battles. Especially when people can get wounded. This basement is dark and silent once again, and the server is hostile to Sierra. You're sounding glad you saved the meat because you could use a drink right now. Someone's saying... Oh. By the way, if I hadn't killed Eyeless in the second game, which I did, I'd probably have to deal with that right now. Or warped Eyeless. Apparently that's something you do deal with. Instead, I get Bellower. I know that decision was gonna bite me in the ass at one point or another. We finally reached the fucking tower, though. In the back of your mind, you always knew it was coming. A fearsome figure starts before the White Tower, before a crowd. Always started to worry you wouldn't make it, Bellower growls. Knew I'd see your smiling faces again. I was expecting the serpent myself. The serpent carved the path for me straight to this place. You remember the quakes near the cliffs and put the pieces together. Must have getting pretty desperate if it brought you here to deal with us. On the contrary, it seems like a great idea to me. Go ahead and try some mind tricks. See what Rachel looks like. This last ends for a reason, Balric. Your ravens can survive this. They're not mine anymore, which... You know, I saw this place in my dreams. So this is where the Valka did all their dirty deeds. Stole your powers. Never thought I'd end up taking their dredge's side. Well, we'll deal with this. Costin sign.